Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. Well, you know what? Part of the fun with our next guest is what is he going to wear?
Well, yes, and he's here because we all wants to do some learning. Dr. Jaymie Matthews joining us, professor and astrophysicist at the University of British Columbia.
Hello, how are you?
How are you?
Very well, and you?
So,
Happy New Year, belated New Year. Happy New
Thank
Year.
you. We're talking about lots of stuff today, but
Yeah.
mostly this idea of other habitable planets in the universe, yes?
Yeah, we live in a very exciting time. Let me set the stage. As of 20 years ago, almost this very day, we only knew of 9 planets, and you can see them up on the screen here. And that was before we nasty astronomers demoted Pluto. And there were 9.
Were you part of that decision?
I was there. I didn't vote against Pluto.
Would you have voted against Pluto?
Well, I didn't because I objected to the process, but I don't think Pluto deserves to be a planet.
All right,
So
fine. We got that out of the way.
20 years later, here's where we stand. 725 planets as of this afternoon. There were 9 new ones discovered over the weekend.
Really?
2,300 candidates. And here's a little map, kind of perspective map of our neck of the woods in the galaxy with some of our nearest neighboring stars that are known to have planets. And keep this in mind because you're going to help me make a map of our solar neighborhood.
That seems like a great
today.
idea.
We're going to extrapolate that as we go.
Now, what
See
we've
the way I
been,
used to extrapolate there.
in the old days, before computers, it was easy to kind of represent planets, because they were all in our solar system, with something we have here, a very simple, it's called an orrery, named after the Earl of Orrery. And Mike has the Earth orbiting
Mike's
backwards.
at the control.
Wait, no.
Okay,
I wanted to get a good start so I could show
So we've
people.
got Earth, Moon,
Earth,
Venus,
Moon,
Sun.
Venus, Sun, and that's meant to demonstrate the orbit and rotation of the Earth, the orbit of the Moon, the orbit of Venus, the phases of the Moon, and
watch out for
Uranus.
and eclipses. Time's
Sorry.
going
Uranus
backwards.
before it hits mine.
No, that's true. I had mine out of the
Yeah.
Okay, anyway.
And it used to be you could do this, and that's not to scale, but it represents
It gives
emotions.
the idea.
Let me show you what the modern version of an orrery is. It's my friend and colleague Dan Fabrici at the University of California, Santa Cruz made this. We call it the Kepler orrery.
What?
So this is the modern day version.
This is the modern day version. These are the orbits of just some of the planets that we have discovered
Love
in
the
the
music.
last 20 years.
Wow.
And we can zoom in on the multi-planet
Holy
systems
smokes.
that are hugging close to their parent stars. Now, the sizes of the planets aren't to scale, otherwise you wouldn't be able to see them. Time has been sped up, but otherwise all the orbits are to scale. The nature didn't provide
There's
the
one
soundtrack.
dude in there that has a really wobbly rotation.
That's absolutely right. We live in a very strange universe.
They really do look like bumblebees.
And when we started, it's easy to find the big things. And so we found planets that were bigger than the planet Jupiter, the biggest planet in our own solar system, a gas giant. Not the kind of place where you'd expect to find life.
The gas giant, that's what I call Michael.
And then we started to find smaller and smaller planets, and including planets that there isn't any analog in our solar system, what we call super-Earths, slightly bigger than the Earth.
Okay.
And now, just recently, we announced the discovery of 2 planets which are the size of the Earth. In fact, one is slightly smaller than the Earth. Now, these aren't in the habitable zone, the Goldilocks zone, where we would expect life, but pretty soon we are going to find Earth-sized planets in the habitable zone. Could
Is
happen
this
tomorrow,
inevitable?
it could happen
This
next
is-
week. It
it'll
seems
happen.
inevitable now.
Yeah.
Now,
And
Stephen
so-
Hawking thinks what? That we can go camp out on these new planets?
Well, when
I
I talk to people about searching for planets around other stars and studying them, I sometimes ask people, do you think we should do it, and why? And one answer is that we're looking to see if we have any neighbors, if there are aliens out there. But the other most common answer is to find a place that we can escape to, that we can evacuate to if we screw up this place.
Oh, we are.
And that's what Stephen Hawking believes, and he has stated it. In fact, he said it again just on his 70th birthday last week. The survival of the human race is at risk as long as it's confined to one planet. Once we spread into space, our future should be safe. So the issue is, could we do that?
Yeah.
Could we move to the stars?
Jamie, just watch Battlestar
If we,
Galactica. We know
if
what
we
happens.
find something, so what we need a habitable zone Goldilocks planet.
Yeah. Let's just say, here's our nearest neighboring star next to the sun, Proxima Centauri. The Proxima means nearby.
I hear it's lovely there this time of year.
We don't know that it has any planets, but let's say it does have a habitable planet. That would be the easiest place for us to get to. So we're going to have a trip. So we need a roadmap.
Okay.
So we're going to put together a roadmap. Now, when I came here to the studio this morning, I came from Kitts, and I could have used this map of Vancouver, and there's the scale on there, 4 kilometers, and coming down to Cole Harbour. Here, for an astronomer, is a local version of the map. We are here, the mall map of the solar system on the Earth, 150 kilometers from the sun. And that's our scale. That's a unit that astronomers call the astronomical unit. And what I want to do is basically make a map, and you're going to help me. We're going to come back in. Here's the map of this neighborhood.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're in the Shaw Tower. We're here in the Urban Rush studio.
I follow you so far.
And here we are, roughly. This is how I figured we'd be laid out and how the cameraman would be laid out. So what I want to do is...
I don't sit like that.
No,
I wish
Michael
you sat
does.
like that. I
And I
sure sit like that. That's right. An excellent
So
artistic
where do we go
impression.
from here?
Well, Fiona, I'm going to make you a star. Well, you're already a star, but I'm going to make you, because you're so luminous and radiant,
Celestial?
I'm going to make you the sun.
Okay.
And Michael, you're going to be the earth. Down to earth, earthy, grounded personality.
Excellent.
And I'm about the right distance to be Mars.
Okay.
So basically, here we are. And you two, you're a little closer, but about, if Michael edged away, about 1 meter apart. And that's going to be the scale of our map.
Okay.
We're going to pretend that we're putting a big piece of paper in the studio. We don't have the budget to put the big piece of paper in the studio, but we're going to put a big sheet of paper. You're marking the position of the sun in our solar system. You're marking the position of the Earth. I happen to be about the right distance from Mars, which is our nearest neighboring planet. And now, where every meter represents 150 million kilometers. So our sheet of paper, our map, has shrunk down the universe by basically 150 billion times.
Okay.
And what I want to do now is put the next nearest star, Proxima Centauri, on our map.
Okay.
Turns out we're going to need a bigger sheet of paper.
Yeah.
So here's a map that might work for us. Map of BC with the scale. Now, do you have any friends or relatives who live in Kelowna?
No.
No?
Yeah, just outside of Kelowna.
Just
yeah.
outside of Kelowna?
Yeah.
Perfect. So there's where Kelowna is on the map, about 300 kilometers away. This is the size of the sheet of paper we'd need for our map.
Wow,
Because
and each meter of that map is 150 million
That's right.
kilometers.
And the next nearest neighboring star would be on the other side of Kelowna from here. And it takes our space probes about a year to travel the distance between the Earth and the star. Imagine how long it would take to get to Kelowna at the rate of a meter per year.
Really long time.
So if this is a road trip, and here we are behind the wheel of our car, even if we could travel at the speed of light, almost 300,000 kilometers per second, the next star is 40 trillion kilometers away.
What?
It
Really?
takes a long time. That's our nearest neighboring
So we
star.
better not ruin this planet.
Yeah, and if maybe Einstein is wrong. Maybe we can go faster than light.
Maybe.
But we're
I
not
love
going to
the
do it for
Winnebago,
a
by the
long
way.
time.
Shazam.
The Spaceballs. So Hawking has said that the reason we should be looking for other planets is to look for places to evacuate to. Well, Hawking is wrong. I'm saying it here.
Wow.
Jaymie, big
send
bold move.
your letters and emails to Urban Rush.
Yeah, when he sees this, he's going to be hella choked.
But
Jaymie, what have you
they
done?
say what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Well, my slogan is what happens on Earth stays on Earth, including us.
So, AKA, when you think about this, we got to take care of this place.
Absolutely. I mean, our technological ability to screw up this place is far in advance of our technological ability to go anywhere else. So the question is then, why do we look for other planets?
Because we're nosy.
Yes, we're curious.
Curiosity
But
kills.
basically, it's to better know our planet, the Earth. And you two would understand this better than I think anybody, because what your job is to learn and to better understand other people and the lifestyle in Vancouver, the Lower Mainland, in the world. And so what your job is to better know humans. And think about it. What you do is you interview, you study a cross-section of humans. But imagine if you only actually interviewed one every day. A couple of years ago, you interviewed Weird Al Yankovic. What if your only guest every day, every week, every year was just Weird Al Yankovic?
God,
And that's
Jaymie.
humanity.
And that is your window on humanity. So think about it. up until recently, our only window on the Earth was the Earth.
Yeah.
And we assumed that it's a typical world, but now we're finding other worlds, and we're actually finding that our solar system is not necessarily typical. And it's giving us perspectives on how to be better tenants, better occupants of this particular split-level condo in the universe.
Dr. Jaymie Matthews, it's like astrophysics with Dr. Seuss when he comes in here.
Thank you so
It's
much,
a weird
Jaymie.
experience, I tell you. That was great, man.
That was
Thank you.
awesome. Thanks so much.
Oh, and I
We're
forgot
gonna
to switch to my professorial glasses.
right.
Oh,
Sorry.
that's better
Now we
there.
believe you. That's much better. We're going to take a quick break.